Most of us are like like dogs chasing cars. If we caught them, we wouldn't know what to do with them. But man, we want that car. Man, we want that wealth. The building of the wealth is the education that you get for how to manage it. And the way that you build it is not just by all of a sudden finding a bag of money. It's by building and maintaining that thing. And all of the things in life that are worthwhile are like that. We want a career, but we want to cheat our way through school to get there. Yeah, the whole point of going through school is to develop a skill set to be able to perform well in that career and in life. It's not just so I can get this job at the end. That's what whores do, anything for money. That's what most people are as well. But it's the things that you're willing to do for yourself to build yourself up to become a complete person, such that when you get to the end of it, you deserve it? Yeah. So will you have it? Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will. You'll get there. You will. But we want to jump over all of these steps, not realizing that the whole point of the steps are to prepare us for that thing that we're after. Some of you right now, if you met the love of your life, you'd spend the rest of your life in misery because you wouldn't know what to do with them. You wouldn't know how to maintain it. You wouldn't know how to be in love and to be loved. You completely fuck up and you spend the rest of your life thinking back and going, man, when I was 18, I met that perfect person. It just wasn't ready. You know, all of those things are to get you ready for that point so that when opportunity and preparation meet, well, then you've got something brilliant, something great. The opportunities are always there. The opportunities are constantly flying by you like shooting stars, man. I was with a friend of mine a few weeks ago and we saw one. She said that she'd never seen one before. I was like, yeah, they've been around you all your life. You just don't notice them because you're not looking for them. You know, or you're not in the right place. And that's what preparation is to be in that right place. Yeah, that question, like that came up last period too about, somebody mentioned manifest destiny. It's kind of the same thing. Like when someone shows up and then there's Indians here and then we're like, you know, we fast forward to today and we do land acknowledgements and we all feel so terrible about what happened to the Indians. And we're like, it was terrible what happened to them. So raise your hand if you're ready to give your shit back to the Indians. Not always the way. You know, it's like, I can't believe those people are so terrible that they took this land. Yeah, don't you have a house on that land right now? Yes. So give your house back. Stand by your principles. They deserve it, right? Well, but my house won't do anything. Well, it'll assuage your conscience, won't it? It'll mean that you do the right thing, won't it? Isn't that how all great movements start, with one person who's willing to do the right things? But you notice how the right thing is always for somebody else to do, not for us ourselves to do. Yeah. I don't want to say too much about it because you guys have the quiz today on the allegory and you need the time. But just enough to say that we're not really deserving of the things that we want, because I mean, I guess if you were deserving of it, you'd have it. If you don't have those things, that means there must be something from the puzzle that's missing. Like last period, it was actually quite funny. I asked, they said there were these things that we wanted, so I was like, what do you want? And they said like wealth, money. I asked, okay, so what is it that people are willing to do for it? And they had this list, man. It was like, people are willing to kill and to die and to lie and manipulate and steal and injure people. And they had this whole list of things that people are willing to do for money. I was like, wow. And there's something that's missing from that list.
Work.
Yes. To work for it. A work ethic, to try, to do the right thing. And they laughed after you said it because then it's like, duh, it's so obvious. But it's not so obvious because people will ask, for example, I bet everybody in here probably wants a high school diploma. And go, so how do I get it? You know, we're willing to chat GPT, and we're willing to cheat, and we're willing to lie, and there's this whole list of things that we're willing to do for this, in the grand scheme of things, meaningless piece of paper. It really is. And then the one thing that's missing is to actually earn it, to actually work for it, to actually try. And it's because we don't see it as it is right now. We're surrounded oftentimes by people who just say that like high school is bullshit. High school is so, yeah. Yeah, there are people who I come across and say, I didn't learn anything in high school. I go, I believe you. after talking to you and hearing how limited your scope is and how narrow your thoughts are and how inexperienced you are and how little you understand about the world around you, I 100% believe you probably learned very little in high school, about as much as they learn from their families, who don't emphasize education either. And so we think that we're entitled to these careers, we think that we're entitled to these happy lives, but we try to jump over all of the steps to get there. All of the education you get is supposed to be preparation for that. I'll talk to this side's buried in their phones. All the preparation that's supposed to get you to that place is supposed to prepare you to deal with those things in the future that help you to maintain it. So for example, example I used last period, people say they want to be rich. Great. Okay, imagine if you found $1 million. Imagine if you found $5 million today. And I ask you, what would you do with it? And how you answer that question is really, really important. I wonder how many of you in your heads right now are going through saying, I would buy this house, I would buy this car, I'd buy this thing for my mom, because you got to be a good person to buy a house for my mom. And then suddenly you realize that $5 million is gone and you're $1 million in debt. Wait, how come? I have $5 million. Yeah, but the houses that you bought, and then you have to pay the property taxes on them, and then you have to, the car that you bought, you couldn't just buy a Camry, right? You bought a Ferrari, and all these things. Now everything is pretty much gone within a year. And then you think, how could this have happened? I had so much money. Here's how it happened. You were given something that you didn't know how to manage. The reason that people have money is because they build it up, and while you're building it up, you learn how to manage it. You learn that you can't just go buy a Ferrari. Not just that, not just because you can't afford it, because it's a really bad investment to buy a car, most cars. Because most cars, you buy them brand new, you drive them off the lot, they'll lose 10-15% of the value right off the bat. And every year, you're paying the same amount of money for the car if you're making your car payment, but the value of the car keeps going down the more you drive it. And so it's just it's a terrible investment. I mean, how many Ferraris do you think Bill Gates owns? How many Ferraris do you think Elon Musk owns? He owns a lot of Teslas, not a lot of Ferraris probably. The point is just that if most of us are like like dogs chasing cars. If we caught them, we wouldn't know what to do with them. But man, we want that car. Man, we want that wealth. The building of the wealth is the education that you get on how to manage it. And the way that you build it is not just by all of a sudden finding a bag of money. It's by building and maintaining that thing. And all of the things in life that are worthwhile are like that. We want a career, but we want to cheat our way through school to get there. Now, the whole point of going through school is to develop a skill set to be able to perform well in that career and in life. It's not just so I can get this job at the end. That's what whores do, anything for money. That's what most people are as well. But it's the things that you're willing to do for yourself, to build yourself up, to become a complete person, such that when you get to the end of it, do you deserve it? Yeah. So will you have it? Yeah, of course you will. Of course you will. You'll get there. You will. But we want to jump over all of these steps, not realizing that the whole point of the steps are to prepare us for that thing that we're after. Some of you right now, if you met the love of your life, you'd spend the rest of your life in misery because you wouldn't know what to do with them. You wouldn't know how to maintain it. You wouldn't know how to be in love and to be loved. You completely fuck up and you spend the rest of your life thinking back and going, man, when I was 18, I met that perfect person. I just wasn't ready. Now, all of those things are to get you ready for that point so that when opportunity and preparation meet, well, then you've got something brilliant, something great. But we don't want to build ourselves up. We want to just wait until something great happens. But of course, again, if it happened, we wouldn't even know what to do with it. And so, I was talking to somebody yesterday, graduated already, and I came back to visit, and we're in the parking lot, and the person asked me as we're getting ready to leave, so, how can you have everything? I mean, how is it that you can just have everything? And I laughed. I said, come on, man. You were in my class. How can you still believe that's possible to have everything? Because if every hour you put into your studies is an hour less that you put into your, entertainment. This is one of the reasons, I'll leave it at that. In other words, people will like, some of you will like talking to smart people, and you're like, wow, that's so interesting. when you get done listening to smart people, and then you go right back to your entertainment and think, wow, I wish I was interesting. That's because all the time that we spend on entertainment, they're spending on becoming interesting. And not for the sake of becoming interesting, but just for a passion of learning something. If our passion is entertainment, well, surprise, surprise, we're not going to be prepared for that opportunity when it comes. We'll be sitting there thinking like, wow, how come everyone's life looks so interesting on my screen? Because we weren't prepared for it. The opportunities are always there. The opportunities are constantly flying by you like shooting stars, man. You ever wonder how, anybody ever see a shooting star before? Yeah. I've seen a few. I was with a friend of mine a few weeks ago, and we saw one. She said that she'd never seen one before. I was like, yeah, they've been around you all your life. You just don't notice them because you're not looking for them. Or you're not in the right place. And that's what preparation is to be in that right place. Now, to be in that right place means you're going to have to sacrifice some things. And that's good, because that means you're going to appreciate things. If you have to sacrifice time, I don't know, like with your friends, to study something, well, then hopefully you're really going to learn that thing because you appreciate the fact, God, I wish I could be with my friends right now, but I'm not, so I need to make the most of this right now. But that's that process of trying to have it all. Every hour you spend studying, you're not spending with your friends. You're not spending on entertainment. And you're not spending with your family. Every hour that you're spending with your family, because the family is the most important thing, you're not spending on a business if you're trying to build a business. How much time do you think Elon Musk spends with his family?
How much?
He got 14 kids or something like that. How much time does he spend with his kids? None at all. Yeah, something like that. Say 12, 14 kids, something like that. Yeah. But don't worry, he takes care of them. That's what we always say. I got 10 kids, but you know what? I take care of all of them. We're like, you're supposed to. You understand? You understand? As Chris Rock said, you're supposed to. You're supposed to take care of them. But you can't take care of them all. Because you're not spending time with them. You're not developing them. You're not nurturing them. You're not making them feel loved. You're not creating a household for them. You're not creating a secure environment for them. You're just throwing money at them. I know some of us sit there and go, man, I wish someone would throw money at me. So I guess I'll go back to that question. What would you do with it? What would you do with it? I would buy a bigger screen to watch other lives on. And so you can't have it all. You have to prioritize the thing. That doesn't mean to choose one thing over everything else, but just understand, man, Elon Musk doesn't have a family. He doesn't have very many friends probably. But the guy runs like 5 companies. And by the way, I'm glad that he's a crappy father. I'm glad because I really want to go to Mars. And someone's going to have to take one for the team for us to get to Mars. I'm glad it's Elon Musk's kids that take him for the team so we can all go to Mars. I like the fact that you can buy an electric car that's faster than a Porsche while it's towing a Porsche. If you've seen that video, that's pretty sick. Yeah. Yeah, there's a video of, it's his Cybertruck, I think it is. It shows him racing a Porsche and just goes, and takes off. And then as the frame goes out, you see that the Cybertruck is towing a Porsche. So it's faster than a Porsche while it's towing that same Porsche. That's pretty sick, man.
Cybertruck is ugly though.
That's true. That's the trade-off. Cybertruck is ugly. But it's also arrow-proof, right? Or bulletproof?
Arrow-proof.
Yeah, I know for sure it's arrow-proof. I think it's bulletproof too. That's pretty sick. Yeah.
What's arrow-proof?
Bow and arrow?
Oh.
I saw a video of Joe Rogan shooting with arrows and it wasn't penetrating it. I'm like, that's pretty sick.
Oh.
But you got 14 not ruined lives, but you got 14 difficult lives now. People who never got to know their father. Better him than me, and I really like going to Mars. So, that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
Life is a series of trade-offs, man. I was telling one of my classes, I guess I'll leave it with this, but I'm not sure if I've ever told you guys that life is suffering. Once or twice, maybe? Yeah, you don't get to choose not to suffer. You can choose what you're going to suffer for. Elon Musk is going to suffer for not having a family, but he's choosing to build rockets and electric cars and stuff like that. Many of us are going to have to choose which is it that you're going to suffer for. Can't have it all, but you can choose what you're going to suffer for. Find something that makes it all worthwhile. It transcends the suffering. Hopefully. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques? Yeah. What's that?
What do you want to do
I have a special relationship with space. And you guys ever just look at space and be like, God, I want to go there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at the moon and it pisses me off because it's right there. I'll never get to go to it. I really, 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 really want to go to space, man. I get like sick in my stomach looking out at the stars and saying, I want to go there. You know? And so, several years ago, there was an opportunity to go to Mars. We're going to send 7 people to set up the first human colony on Mars. It was a one-way trip, though. Basically, we're going to deliver supplies and set up some tents, and then you're going to die there eventually until other people got there, and then the stuff would be there. I applied for that position, but I guess they did not need philosophers and poets. I'm like, come on, man. Someone has to describe it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I had the idea that if I got there, I could kill the other 6 people and proclaim myself king of Mars. And then our great-great-great-grandchildren will one day read about the first king of Mars, Scanlan. He was a harsh dictator, but fair.
I think he's quite merciful.
Yeah, and merciful, yeah. I let one of them live.
I agree.
Myself. Go ahead and put those away.